Eastern Kentucky, a land as beautiful as it is fascinating. Dramatic scenery, crisp, clean air, abundant wildlife, a land that graces the Appalachian mountain range at its middle. A land laden with rich black coal, exaggerated depictions of murderous feuds, and a deep history that has inspired poets and artists from all over the world. A land explored by Daniel Boone and settled by the Scott-Irish, whose ancestors remain to this day. Eastern Kentucky is covered by great hills, deep hollows, lush forests, and ancient stone that has eroded into caves and rock formations. Now, witness its rarely filmed transition into spring as the land comes alive with color. Discover one of America's treasures hidden in plain sight. Relax and join us for an insider's look at Eastern Kentucky's Appalachian Spring. The mountains here are old. They're much older than the legendary Rocky Mountains and once soared to similar heights resembling the modern Himalayas. These hills span the length of eastern North America from Canada to the southern United States and have eroded over millions of years. In eastern Kentucky, the hills surround you like a protective hug, and when you leave, it feels like something is missing. Tales of its beautiful rolling hills and colorful people, shared by Kentucky resident Alan Barnett, inspired J.R.R. Tolkien to create the Shire and hobbits in The Lord of the Rings. With so much diverse open land, there is an abundance of biodiversity as well. The region is classified as having a temperate, deciduous forest ecosystem with 4 distinct seasons. According to the World Wildlife Fund, the large variety of landforms, climate, soil, and geology, coupled with a long evolutionary history, has led to one of the most diverse assemblages of plants and animals found in the world's deciduous forests. Some of the best natural views of eastern Kentucky arrive with the onset of spring. The natural Appalachian vistas come to life with a kaleidoscope of redbud trees, white flowering dogwood, wildflowers, and abundant greenery. Trees forest much of the local region, including mixed oak, tulip poplar, locust, hickory, birch, fir, and the beloved hemlock. The gradient in elevation causes climate changes, allowing over 150 tree species to prosper. Their presence breathes life and clean, fresh air into eastern Kentucky. Rock formations add dramatic scenery to the area, especially that of the Red River Gorge in Powell County. Enter the gorge through the Nada Tunnel to discover an intricate canyon system following the Red River, waiting to be explored. Ask regular avid rock climbers about the gorgeous area, and they will tell you about excellent cliff lines for climbing, great camping spots, and scenic hiking trails. Locals and tourists enjoy these activities along with mountain biking and kayaking down the river. The Red is a designated National Natural Landmark thanks to an abundance of high sandstone cliffs, rock shelters, waterfalls, and over 100 natural sandstone bridges. People travel from all over the world to visit the area along with Natural Bridge, the largest natural sandstone bridge in the region. After a scenic hike to view the serene landscapes from the top, it isn't hard to see why tens of thousands of people visit each year. Definitely bucket list material. Local wildlife makes their home among the surrounding forest. Eastern warblers, mourning doves, and blue jays are a common sight, along with the cardinal, Kentucky's state bird. Woodpeckers leave evidence of their search for food on the bark of dead trees. Most of eastern Kentucky's breeding bird community consists of tropical migrants that return to the area each spring. They are a small part of the rich biodiversity of Kentucky, with 370 bird species overall. Killdeer, with their lively squeaks and tendency to stay grounded, often make their nests in fields and rocky areas like gravel driveways. This female is creating a distraction display away from her clutch of eggs, as her camera is a perceived predator. She tries to lure it away from the nest, then suddenly heels and returns. Groups of wild eastern turkey are a regular sight in Appalachia. One can often spot them congregating in fields near the tree line, especially during the mating season in early spring. As the male turkeys strut, or display for females, they puff out their chest, drag their wings, and spread their tail feathers. Although they appear mostly brown, a male turkey's feathers include areas of red, green, bronze, and even gold iridescence color. Turkeys can fly up to 400 meters or a quarter mile, enough to get into a tree canopy and out of harm's way. Flowers and other plants help make the ecoregion one of the richest subtropical forests in the world, similar to the abundant flora of central China. Perhaps that is why the invasive kudzu vine, originating in Asia, is so prolific throughout eastern Kentucky. The vine was introduced in the eastern United States from Japan in 1876, sought out by farmers to help prevent soil erosion. It soon spread across southern Appalachia and eastern Kentucky, growing at an impressive rate of a foot per day. As spring progresses, our filmmakers are lucky enough to tour acres of private land, which has acted as a mini nature preserve. Few people are allowed here, keeping it beautifully wild. The land is filled with white-tailed deer, representing what this area of eastern Kentucky may have looked like before settlers arrived. They form small herds and feed on grasses and leaves, supplementing their food source with corn left by humans. White-tailed deer earn their name from their white tail, used as a visual cue to warn other deer of danger. Filmed in spring, these bucks still display velvet on their antlers, which provides blood and nutrients to the growing bone beneath. The white-tailed deer's horizontally slit pupils allow for good night vision and color vision during the day, with the exception of the colors red and orange. Eastern Kentucky's Breathitt County has one of the largest elk herds, which may be seen from the South Fork Elk Viewing Station. Elk are occasionally seen in early spring, but more so in fall. Knott County also supports large elk herds. Elk were hunted out of the region by 1857 and then reintroduced from the western United States in 1997. The local population now exceeds 10,000, thanks to abundant food and strict hunting laws. Eastern Kentucky is also home to a large population of wild horses. They roam the vast acres of reclaimed surface mined area within Breathitt and Knott counties. Horses were gradually released over the past 10 years by owners who wanted free grazing or simply could not afford to care for them any longer. Plenty of land and extra feeding by locals has helped establish several herds. Every spring, new foals can be seen gathering food with their parents and feeding on man-made salt licks. This trail camera footage shows more of the wide variety of wildlife in rural Breathitt County come spring. It recorded a number of animals within hours, including deer, turkey, raccoons, and even a large snail. The camera also captured a rare sight, a large black bear feasting on a pile of corn. Adult black bears have been recorded reaching 2 meters or 6.5 feet long. Their claw markings can be seen on trees as a form of communication with other bears, and their sense of smell is 7 times greater than that of a dog. They typically live in heavily forested areas, but venture into human communities because of the high availability of food. Black bears were once a rare sight in this area, but local sightings have been on the rise in the past few years. Yet another elusive creature roaming these hills is the bobcat. This 30-pound cat is primarily crepuscular, or active at twilight, hunting rabbits with its excellent night vision. Although the bobcat is much larger than a typical house cat, it's still not top predator in the Appalachians. The mountain lion, or cougar, weighing up to 220 pounds, was once hunted out of the area but has slowly returned after years of protection. This ambush predator uses its huge paws and sharp claws to bring down prey. It is not only a fearsome hunter, but an important part of the ecosystem. Mountain lions helped control deer and elk populations long before people arrived in Appalachia. Its eerie call, which can be heard during mating season, has been compared to a human scream. Mountain lions are rarely seen by locals, but with continued protection and a growing elk population, their numbers may begin to rise again. Eastern Kentucky also hosts a number of other nocturnal animals, like foxes, owls, and coyotes. Whether day or night, each animal plays an important part in the diverse ecosystem. Eastern Kentucky's rich biodiversity can also be attributed to some of its smallest creatures. Many microhabitats cover the region, causing a number of invertebrates, salamanders, mussels, and fish to be restricted to the local watersheds, which means they can only be found here, and once they're gone, nowhere else. The watershed area here is well known, hosting an impressive range of crayfish, turtles, snakes, and other fish species. Sunfish, such as multiple bass varieties and bluegill, are especially popular. Perry County is home to Buckhorn Lake State Resort Park, a mountain reservoir lake with plentiful muskie. The large amount of creatures living in and around these streams indicates a healthy ecosystem. Beavers are also common in Eastern Kentucky, with plenty of wild areas in which to thrive. This large beaver dam is found deep in the backcountry of Magoffin County. When beavers make their home, they often create small ponds that help support the environment. This Luna moth, bracing itself on a windy spring day, is an example of the extensive range of insect species. They are one of the largest variety of moths, reaching up to a 7-inch wingspan as an adult. These long, tapering wings are marked with eye spots to confuse predators. Several types of butterfly also inhabit Eastern Kentucky, like the American painted lady. In spring, they can be seen congregating around streams and creek beds. One of the painted lady's favorite plants is the goldenrod, Kentucky's state flower. Rabbits and squirrels are an important part of the ecosystem's food cycle. They have a large area of forested land with plentiful food in which to thrive. By hoarding and burying seeds in the fall, the gray squirrel is essential to the forest's natural regeneration. Spring is mating season, and they can have a litter of up to 8 kits. This gray squirrel has made its nest in the hole of a tree in preparation for raising a family. A drive through Little Shepherd Trail includes a must-stop at Bullock Overlook for an inspirational view of unknown miles on a clear day. A short distance to Kingdom Come State Park, a designated conservation area, provides places to relax such as this pond, shady hiking trails loaded with ferns, and a chance encounter with a young, friendly skunk. The area is also known for black bear sightings. Once scarred by the negative impact of politicians and corporations focused solely on making a profit, this beautiful region is still healing from the erosion and pollution left by mining and road construction. The ecosystem is particularly diverse and one of the few wild areas of shrinking wilderness left in the United States. In the mid-1900s, several organizations realized the value of the area and set up state and national parks, as well as large conservation areas to preserve its natural beauty. And while there is still work to be done, state and local groups now monitor the ecosystem and make sure environmental laws are enforced. Cleanup initiatives have made significant steps in removing waste from streams, and local programs such as camps and cooperatives educate people of all ages and get them involved in protecting the land and creating new ways to grow a sustainable population. As with every season, the Appalachian spring must eventually come to an end. During these months, the mysterious mountain landscape comes to life with new plants and animals, then continues into a humid summer. With endless hidden treasures, this region is well worth the trip to explore and experience firsthand the views, the legends, the wildlife, and even the people. Eastern Kentucky's four seasons always bring interesting changes and breathtaking beauty. And while its Appalachian spring may be the loveliest of them all, opportunities to connect, reconnect, disconnect, and just be are the gifts found in this breathtaking region.